I'm out shooting today doing some ultra wide angle shots using this Sigma 12 to 24mm. This is a fantastic place to be doing it here, lots of foreground interest. Like most of these ultra wide lenses, it's got a fixed petal shaped hood, which means that you can't use the standard 100mm LEE filter system with it. So LEE have developed a whole new system for these ultra wide angle lenses, the SW150, which originally was only available for the Nikon 14 to 24mm, but now the range has been expanded to include a whole load of ultra wide angle lenses. And to find out which lenses are available, have a look at the LEE Filters website. The filter holder attaches to this adapter, these adapter rings, and there's a different adapter for each lens, but they're all basically the same. Very, very easy to fit. You just undo the rings like this, and that pops on. This one pops on the front like that. Then if you just hold the lens like this, turn it upside down, and then you can pop these rear rings on there and then just screw them up like this. Okay, once you've done it, you don't have to do it again. You can leave it on there because the nice guys at LEE Filters also supply you with one of these neoprene lens hoods. So it's a once only job, but it is nice and simple. The other thing LEE Filters have done is they've expanded the range of filters which are available for the SW150 system, and as well as grads and polarizers, you can also get the big and little stopper in the new size. As well as that, they've introduced a new field pouch for the larger system, and this takes up to 10 filters. So I'm just going to load this up with the filters that I think I'm going to need today. Here we are at Kimmeridge Bay in Dorset. It's a lovely evening, sun shining, lots of blue sky and some nice wispy clouds up there as well. I'm standing on the main western ledge looking towards Clavel's Tower, and just want to get a shot across the ledge looking towards the tower there. Right, okay, first thing that strikes me is that the shot works well, but the sky lacks a little bit of punch, so I think it's sort of ideal for being polarized. So just going to get the filter holder. This is the new SW150 holder, and that just slots on the front there like that, and then just screws on, so it's nice and secure but still rotates very, very freely like that. And here's the SW150 polarizer, which, as you can see, is a square piece of polarizing glass rather than a round filter, which would have just been enormous. So this goes in the front slot like that, so you can fit in neutral density filters and so on behind it. Works like any other polarizer in that you just rotate it until you see the effect that you want. So, which in this case is about here. So I'll just take that shot again. And yeah, much improved. So the sky is nice and blue. The clouds are really starting to stand out there. But just zooming in and scrolling around the picture, one thing I can see is that the water's a little bit ripply, and I'd like to have a bit more of a smooth texture on that water. I think it would suit this scene. In order to do that, we want to have a long exposure, so we need to use a neutral density filter, and because it's fairly bright sunlight at the moment, then an extreme filter such as the 10 stop LEE big stopper is what we need. Okay, so just going to get the big stopper out, and here we are. As you can see, it's got this foam seal around the back. Now this is to prevent any light leaking in from the side and reflecting back and forth and causing flare in your pictures. So obviously this foam seal has to go facing towards the camera. It also has to go in the right way up, Unlike the 100mm system, you can see there's a gap on the seal on this side, but not this side. So it needs to go in this way up with the gap to the sides, not top and bottom. So just slide that in and make sure that it lines up with the baffle there, just to prevent any light getting in from the sides. I'm also going to shade the filter just to as an extra insurance to prevent any light leaking in from the sides. Okay, I'd recommend you do that on a bright day like this. Just going to switch into bulb mode, and I've calculated a 1 minute exposure for this shot, so here we go. Okay, and just looking at that shot, still got the lovely clouds and the blue sky, but this time got a much smoother surface to the water. Looks great. It's getting towards the end of the day, and I'm going round to the other side of the bay now for a sunset shoot at Clavel's Pier, and I'm going to shoot the new Anthony Gormley statue, which was installed recently. Well, here I am at Clavel's Pier at Kimmeridge Bay, just getting set up for sunset. Now, one of the beauties of using these ultra-wide angle lenses is that you can really make the most of your foreground and get in nice and close and just get these lovely smooth rocks just sort of looming large in the frame. So yeah, got the composition there I wanted. Now, I know that once the sun goes down, the scene's going to be pretty contrasty because the sky is going to be lit from below by the setting sun, and there'll be no direct light falling on the foreground. So I need to do something to try to resolve that contrast problem. And the best way of solving the problem is to use a graduated filter. Now, looking at the way the light's falling and the sky that we've got at the moment, my guess would be that a 2-stop hard grad is going to do the trick. So just going to fit one of those, and I'm going to put it in the front slot so that I can leave room for an ND filter as well. So just line that up with the horizon there. I always find this easier to do in the viewfinder rather than live view. Just get that settling down on the horizon, and I also want to try and smooth out the water again. There are some nice waves lapping around the rocks. What I want to do is go for a long exposure to get that nice sort of ethereal milky water look. Now, once the sun's gone down, the light levels are going to be quite low anyway, so I won't need anything as extreme as the big stopper, but the little stopper, which is 6 stops, should do the job very well. So the little stopper, like the big stopper, has got the foam seal around the edge to stop light leaking in, and again, exactly the same, you need to have it this way round with that little gap to the left and right, and then it just slots in the back slot like that. Just make sure we line it up properly with the baffle there to make sure no light can leak in. And when we've done that, I'm just going to relax and wait for the light. Well, here's the final shot, and I'm pretty happy with that. Lots of lovely colour there, pink sky. The filters have done a fantastic job, so we've caught the full range of tones in the shot. It's just wonderful being able to use filters with these ultra-wide lenses. Here we are at Swanage Pier on a lovely sunny morning. Blue sky, a few clouds about. Landscape photographers absolutely love foreground interest, and one of the great things about using these ultra-wide angle lenses is that they let you get in really close to that foreground and get it looming large in the frame with lots of depth of field as well. So I'm just going to set up a shot here where I'm using the plaques on the deck as the foreground and the shelter as the main focal point in the background. Now, just reviewing the test shot, a couple of things strike me. The first one is there's a bit of glare off the deck, in particular the plaques, and off the windows of the shelter, and it looks as if I'm going to need a grad as well. So to solve the problem of the glare, we're going to use a polarizer. So I'm just going to fit the SW150 filter holder, and we're going to use fit the polarizer first, so that we can see what sort of effect that has on the sky, and therefore how strong a grad I need to use. Now, because this filter's square, it won't rotate independently of a graduated filter, so you need to work out the rotation of the polarizer before you fit it. So yeah, that's pretty much spot on there. So we'll put that one in first. And I'll just take that shot, review that. Okay, not going to need a strong grad, so a one stop, a 0.3 will be absolutely fine for this shot. So this then goes in behind the polarizer like that. And just line that up. Okay. Okay, perfect. So yeah, the polarizer's taken the glare off the deck and the windows, and the grad has brought the sky under control there, so we've managed to capture the full range of tones in the shot. Lovely. So that's the new SW150 system from LEE. It's available for a number of ultra-wide angle lenses, and there's a wide range of filters available, and it's fantastic being able to use these filters with such wide angle lenses.